Being up there was the scariest moment of my life. I've gone snowblind, I can't see. He wasn't even there, just like a shell of a body. Damn, I've got to get back down again. Like, I'm only halfway. The months leading up, I had an altitude machine and I was using that for a month before the expedition, just training my body up to the altitude slowly. Then just like a lot of cardio and weight training, specific weights and stuff. So I'd say definitely more mental. The fact I knew I was gonna leave my family for so long and be away for ages and just not knowing what was gonna happen really. Like you can't predict what happens on the mountains, so. The process went really well and the design process was perfect, but once the first prototype came, it was way too heavy and bulky, so we had to lighten it down so much. So a few days before the expedition, it got sent back and then we got it back and it was good to go. Yeah, it was so touch and go, yeah, especially with the specifications as well needed signing off. So I got them when I was over in Nepal. So it was like just before I was about to climb. So yeah, it was really close. And all the functions on it were spot on. Yeah. The harness, the straps. So when it got hot like so many times in the day, so you could just bang it down and then just have it around your waist, but like still secure. That was really good. Climbing was perfect. And then when we were stationary in the camp, sleeping.
In camp 4, heading down to camp 2 now. Feel like death, but we've made the summit.
Like I wore it then to sleep in and it just kept you warm all night. Yeah, it's really good. So Lukla to Basecamp was 8 days trekking and then spent maybe 3 weeks at Basecamp just doing your rotations and then summit, so up at like total time 6 weeks. We were meant to do 2, but the Sherpa said like we were pretty strong, we did well, acclimatized well, so we just did the 1 rotation.
Hey guys, first check-in on Everest. Going well so far, feeling good, acclimatizing well. Currently at camp 2 at 6,500 meters. Today we did a acclimatization hike up to 6,800 meters, which was good, and head back down to base camp tomorrow. It's been freezing at night, it's been awful, it's been like minus 20. Yeah, so it's going well. We head back down to base camp tomorrow and then we wait for the summit push, which will hopefully be around 11th, 12th of May. All going well, so let's go.
The rotation was base camp to camp 1 and then we slept there and then we'd go up to camp 2, sleep there and then go just before camp 3, come back down, sleep at camp 2 and then camp 2 all the way down to base camp again. Yeah, we did they're called puja ceremonies. So we did a few of them and you get blessed for the mountain by the Lama and everything, so. We set off at 1 in the morning, so you've got to go through at night because it's the best time. The ice is more frozen. If you go in the day, it's melting and moving, even more dangerous. So yeah, you can't see much and then you start pretty flat and then you get to a rocky section. And then you get to like the famous sections you see with the ladders and the big crevasses. Like crossing them was wild. You'd just have to take your time but you could see like, you couldn't even see the bottom of the crevasses. And then some of the ladders were like strapped together with rope. Like they looked dodgy, but there was plenty of sections like that. It took around 5 to 6 hours to get through the full Icefall. Before I got to camp 4, there was a dead body just before, like unexpected, happened the night before. So that was like a big mental challenge getting over it. And then you think Like one day that was a climber just like me with the same goals. It was hard to get past that point and knowing you still had the full summit push and everything after. So yeah, that was the only time I thought about turning back. Yeah, so I'd say more from Camp 4 up to the balcony was kind of uncertain because I'd never been in the death zone before. So going up there, anything can happen. But when at the top of the South Col and you can see the Hillary Step and the summit a bit, that's the point where I said to myself, I knew I'd make it. But on the way down, that's when the uncertainty came the most. On the 17th, it was around 8 p.m. we set off. And the previous day, we'd climbed from Camp 3. It took about 9 hours. We got some food, had some water. And then my Sherpa was like, we've got like 2 hours of setting off for the summit. So I was like, oh, you're joking? Like, how are we going to sleep? So we just tried to rest as much as possible. Started the climb, and you could see it, like all the head torches going up, like a few people before us, which is cool. It was so cold, like -34 it was. We made our way up to the balcony, which is like so steep. We got there after around 5 hours, just had like 10 minutes rest, some water, changed our oxygen bottles for fresh ones to make sure we could get up and down. After that, there's like a ridge, and at that point, like I really started to struggle. Our water had frozen over completely, so we were like so dehydrated. One of my friends was coming down as I was going up, the Polish guy, and he sat next to me with his Sherpa because his Sherpa knew mine, and like he didn't even notice me. It was like weird. It's like he wasn't even there, just like a shell of a body. Like the difference up there is like scary. He finally noticed me, congratulated him, and he didn't look good. So we just had to move quickly. So we got up to the top of the South Col, and then you start to see the Hillary Step and the Cornice Ridge, like stuff I've seen in films and documentaries. That's the point I knew I'd make it to the summit. So we made our way along there, but the queues were really bad. So the ridge is like that big, and there's people coming each way, but only on one rope. So at points you'd have to clip around them, but there was like a pure drop either side. So it was like really scary. And then the last push to the summit, you think you can see the summit and you like buzzing, but it's like a false summit. So there's 3 of them. It takes like another hour or so. And then once you're on the summit, it was pretty busy, to be honest. There's a lot of climbers up there. The difference was crazy from Basecamp because you're kind of used to sleeping at that height. The more you go up, the less you sleep, the colder it is. Like Camp 1 probably got like 3 hours sleep, and then Camp 2 maybe like an hour total. Camp 3 I slept pretty good because I was just that tired. And then once we came back down from the summit and had to sleep at Camp 4, which we were meant to do, we had to get like more oxygen, so on like a lower flow rate. So you're probably like waking up every 10 minutes. I think I slept 2 hours total. And the Filipino guy I rescued was next to me. He was up like being sick all night. There was 5 of us in like one 2-man tent with all the oxygen bottles and everything. So yeah, it was impossible to sleep. Yeah, we used 6 tanks of oxygen in total. Started using them on the summit push just before Camp 3, and then like the whole time from them, we're using the whole time, like even to sleep with. I'd say the second I got to the summit, everything after that was beyond my limits, really. It was just about surviving at that point, just trying to get down safely, but all your energy's gone and we didn't get any water or anything. You were dehydrated, and then that zapped your energy so much more. So yeah, the altitude, it swells your brain, and especially at that height, it's so hard to think straight, and you start making decisions you wouldn't normally, and yeah, it can be very tough. Yeah, like surprisingly technical. Yeah, there's quite a few sections which were hard, like especially the Icefall. You've got to be like on the ball constantly. Like one mistake and that's it really. We had to cross up and down that like 4 times. And when you're moving through it, it's constantly moving. You can hear the ice cracking around you. It's really scary. You do it in like the dead of night as well. So all you can see is like the head torches and then big massive blocks of ice above you. On the way up to the summit, it's so steep and there's so many exposed sections. And on the Hillary Step, there's like a 2,000 meter drop to Nepal and then a 2,000 meter drop to China. You've got like a ridge like that big. Obviously the bodies and stuff are on it as well. So we got to the Hillary Step. Just before it, there's like a famous body just laying there. So you've got a step like just right next to the guy's head, which is awful. You just got to put it out of your mind, really. The rescue I did on the way down, that made a huge impact to like the rest of the expedition because it added hours onto our climb on the way down. So it made us stay at Camp 4 instead of Camp 3, and we ran out of oxygen at one point as well. So there was a Filipino climber who was in my group, and on the way down, I seen him just sat there in the snow, like on his own. I was saying like, how come, what are you doing, you all right? He's like, I've gone snowblind, I can't see. And his Sherpa got really ill as well, so we'd had to leave him on the way down. So it's kind of like fight or flight. I was like, do I go and save myself or help him out? So just in the moment, I made the split decision just to help him. I was clipping him on the rope and then off again. And then on the ridge sections, I'd clip him onto my safety. I'd clip onto the rope and then he'd like hold the back of my backpack and just like follow my footprints. But clipping, when I had to clip off, we weren't like safe. So if he'd have slipped, he'd have just took us both down. But in the moment, you don't think about it too much. What affected like the unclipping at the time and stuff, like you're not thinking straight. Yeah, like 100%. Yeah, it's so much harder and it's scary as well because obviously you don't know what's going to happen to you and anything can go wrong, so, like with the oxygen and everything. I just wanted to represent like my journey overall, like from climbing in the Lake District with my auntie since I was 10 and just everything after that really. Just build like the build up to the whole, like the big moment kind of thing. That was cool. And then obviously being at all the camps and just being able to sit there, take it all in. There's like cloud inversions constantly as well. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, it was when I got to the summit and I sat down, just like was able to look around properly and just take it all in. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I can't believe I've made it. And then like the realization of actually summiting Everest is incredible. Yeah, like it's emotional, you feel the adrenaline and then you get your pictures and stuff and then you think like, damn, I've got to get back down again. Like I'm only halfway. Like it hasn't sunk in yet, so. But like being up there was the scariest moment of my life, so I don't think you could top it anyways, to be honest. Obviously the oxygen's running out, so you've got to be pretty quick and then you just get your pictures quickly, take it in for a little bit and then you just need to head straight down. Like the more time you spend up there, the more dangerous it is. I'd say probably like just enjoy life and make the most of it. Don't take anything for granted because that's all I thought up there. Like just little moments like that. Just missing family and just spending time, as much time as you can with them and everything. I just hope they're inspired by it and believe anything's possible if you put the hard work in. Just like I have, just build up to it and just take a risk. Yeah, it means everything, like to support my biggest dream ever and we made it happen, and having the insurance and the extra Sherpa gave me that security a lot more on the climb. So I knew I was pretty safe, like as safe as possible, and we were eliminating all the risks really, so